Let's learn now. Coaster body a crochet method. Take a look at the main body like this. First hook a small coaster on one's body. Take out 5 strands of red wire winding. This requires a ring starter. Tie a knot on your finger first. Go round and take out the 2.5 毫米 crochet. Wire the coil from bottom to top. Stand 3 braid needles. Braid needles don't count. Begin crocheting with the first long stitch. You start by making a loop on the crochet. Go through here. Continue winding and dragging out. There are 3 coils on the crochet. Wrap the wire first and drag out the first 2 coils. Continue winding and drag out the last 2 coils. The first long needle is done. If you can't find the needle, you can take out the mark buckle. Tie this V of the first needle to it. Crochet is not the first needle. The V behind the crochet is the first long needle mesh. You can take the mark buckle to buckle it for him. Continue to hook the second long needle, still winding first. Then pull another circle of wire out. The pointer winding hooks the first 2 coils. Keep stitching 2 coils after the winding hook. The second long needle is done. Continue the third one to take the first 2 coils. Wrap first. 2 more coils. This is a way to hook a long needle. The third long needle has been hooked. Now start the hooking of the fourth long needle. The first lap requires a total of 12 long needles to be hooked. You can count. Now take the meat out. Squeeze the long needle. Tighten it. Form a small circle. Find this position of the first needle. Remove the marker buckle. Hook a lead here. So I'm just going to show you again. Recruit, needle insertion, the position of the first needle, wire drag out, tighten where it is pulled directly from the first coil, drag through the second coil. Okay. The first lap is done. Begin the second loop of crochet with the long stitches. The method is still the same. Stand up 3 braid needles first. Braid needles are not the purpose of this needle. So, the first long needle is still in the hole where it was pulled. The second circle needs to make 12 long needles plus needles. That is, 2 long needles need to be hooked inside each needle. Wrap the thread through the needle first. Wire drag out. Hook 3 coils. Continue winding and dragging past the first 2 coils. Winding and dragging the 2 coils. The first long needle is done. If the novice can't find the rootstock, be sure to take out the marking buckle. Buckle it at this position of the first stitch. Continue to be in this rootstock. Same needle, hook 2 long needles. Or hook 2 long needles. Attention everyone, this circle, you must knit 2 long needles in one hole. A total of 24 are woven. Needle. The second lap has been completed. Now remove the marker clasp and do a pull. Stand 3 braid needles in the position of the marked buckle. The third circle is still crocheted with long needles. The third loop crochet method is a long needle plus a needle, 1 long needle plus needle. Under one circle is a total of 36 long needles. Let me just show you. It's still in the first needle just now. Hook a long needle first, then hook 2 long needles in the second stitch. And then the third stitch is a long stitch. The fourth one needs to hook 2 long needles. Keep looping in this way. Finish this circle. The crochet of the third circle has been crocheted. Locate the location of the first long needle. A pull tensioning. Still start with 3 braid needles, 1 long needle plus needle for the purpose of this circle of needles. It's 2 long needles, a long needle plus a needle. Demonstrate. Wrap first. Continue to hook a long needle into the mesh
Next
just
stitch.
now. Still a long needle. Next stitch. To hook 2 long needles. That's the pattern all the time. 1 long needle, 2 long needles, a long needle, 2 long needles. You can crochet it yourself. Now the crochet for the 5th lap is over. Next, change the thread in your hand to a white thread. Start splicing the white part above the crocheted coaster. The last stitch here needs to be changed to a white thread. Recruit, give him this thread and loosen it up a bit. And watch the last lap. These to go through here. Pick these 2 lines. You can take a look. These 2 lines. Then pick the white line. The white line can be pressed directly for him. Hide it directly later. Find this position of the first needle and insert it. Winding out. Pull over a lead. Then tighten the coil. Start making 3 braid needles. And the crochet pattern of this loop is 4 long needles. A long needle plus a needle. Or do it in the needle just now. A long needle. Attention everyone. When the thread at the back is hooked, 1. You can hide it directly behind this needle. 3 long needles need to be crocheted inside the next stitch to make a long needle plus a needle. Then this hole needs to be hooked with 2 long needles. The part of the red wire here is directly pinched to this coil. Just tighten it, then disconnect and continue. Don't forget the number of crochets in this circle. For long needles, a long needle plus a needle, then loop to the end. The white line of the first circle has been ticked. Find the location of the first needle. A promotion. Just tighten the coil. Take a look at this whole book. That's it. The number of stitches in the last circle of white thread. Still 3 braid needles first. The pattern of this circle of crochet is 5 long needles. A long needle can be directly disconnected by adding a needle. 5 long needles. Inside the next needle, it is to hook a long needle and add a needle. To hook 2 long needles. The pattern of this circle has always been like this. 5 long needles, 1 long needle plus needle. Just hook it up. The position of the last circle of white line has been sewn. Find the position of the first long needle. Make a promotion. Then pull it over and tighten it. Tidy up the bottom of this cup. The position on the side loosens it a little bit. Find the connecting cable at the back at will. Hide a few threads for him. Needle position hidden line. The needle and thread at the back can be hidden. Nothing is fixed. Tower unstable thread disconnected. When you can bring thread, bring a few more stitches. It's a little firmer. You can do it at this time. Cut off the extra thread. Several others are the same method. The most basic part of such a bottom pad has been completed. So here's another one. The location of a lead wire on the side here. And now let's weave the outer ring. The lead wire is inserted on the edge of the last lap. You can pull any hole in the front. Then come over the red line. Keep looking for the next needle. Next pin entry line. Hook a circle. This coil goes directly through the second coil. Continue to the next stitch. Go in here and drag it out. Drag it out directly. Moving on to the next stitch. Wire drag out straight through the second coil. The effect of the hook is probably like this. It's the last stitch now. Still the same way. Continue winding and tick out. Then drag it over. You can disconnect directly at this time. Leave a little thread. Pull the line directly over. Find the middle braid of the needle. Needle insertion. Pull him over. And let me show you how this works. Take a look at the last stitch. Insert the needle from this second needle position. Find the red line. Drag it over. The front completes the stitching. Pull the position of the edge for it a little bit. The main body of the round coaster is completed.